Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and it is the Nerdrotic Nooner. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you had a great weekend. December is here. It's Christmas time, so seizure warning. I have my Christmas lights up, and they blink, and there's nothing I can do about it, but I like them. I'm a very festive person. I love Christmas. I love the holidays. And hello, Mary Ashmead, OG Spock Love, Specs Dude, Bryce 11544, JD Brisbos, Brent Newman, Sebastian Simonson, Halam 899, watching for the first time again. What is this? Captain Zero. What's up, Mark Mignata? How are you? Good morning, everybody. Man of Action, the Beast. From the X-Men, RXN. I'm probably saying that wrong. Sorry. And what's it? Book on Legs. Good morning, everybody. Wow, we got 103 people already. 106. Yes. I normally would have probably made the article I found this morning into a video, but let's just talk about it, shall we? Because it was bound to happen, folks. It was about it was the Doctor Who was bound to slap back at the fans and call us bizarre, but in this article they basically admit that they are PC. So there we go. And at least they admit it, because first there was a denial, but now that would be a bit ridiculous, and we will get to that. We'll let some more people roll in. What's up, Love Pond? How's it going? Cheers, everybody. Good morning. It's the Nerdrotic Nooner. We also have a Captain Marvel poster, and I guess we're getting a trailer tonight, and an Avengers 4 trailer on Wednesday. And now, normally we don't do the movie stuff. We're mainly the TV stuff, but we will dabble with the MCU because we do love the MCU here. Of course, they call us bizarre. They don't even understand how their own show's universe works. Exactly, Nathan Norman. And that's part of the point I'm going to get into. The Filthy Farmer, how are you? Good morning. Cato Roan, Mary Ashmead, and the Wrenches, welcome. Penn Farm Girl. Penn, thank you for, I got my own notification. Cool. Penn brought it to my attention last night that we hit 11,000 subscribers. Holy shit. I don't know what's going on. I'm really not doing anything different than what we've done before, but I am grateful. I am grateful for all the new subscribers. I'm grateful for all of you being here. We're gonna probably rip on Doctor Who a bit, but we're also gonna talk about some fun stuff. I'm also we're getting a bunch of Christmas ideas for that. That's going to be like 2 or 3 videos at this point. Maybe I'll make it part of Friday Night Tights, but we've gotten some really good Christmas ideas and some hilarious Christmas ideas. You guys are effing funny. That's one of the really the most important part, making somebody laugh. The relationship that was made in our chat. This is my favorite story. Movie Finobi and Viking bitch are dating now, and they met in our chat. And the key ingredient to this, folks, with any partner, is being able to make somebody laugh. And Movie Finobi is a funny dude, and you people are hilarious. I was cracking up reading some of your ideas, so I can't wait to do that video. I think it'll be out Wednesday or Thursday. All right, so we'll do that. Also, we have Counterpart coming up. I'm also going to give a Nightflyers review, and I apologize. I know we had it on the schedule, and if you looked everywhere, it said it premiered on December 2nd, and I guess it did on Sci-Fi, but Sling and all the, basically all your on-demand stuff had it on 11/29. So we like to do a review the day it comes out, and if it's late, it generally doesn't do as well. So I was like, scrap it, and they're going to air the entire season throughout the week. So I'll just give you a season review. I'll give you my thoughts later on it. And definitely we'll talk about Daredevil, RIP. I don't think Daredevil's gone, though, Rigo. Why? I think they will. They'd be dumb not to bring that back. But the problem is, I think you might be right in the RIP in the Daredevil that we know. I don't think we're going to be getting a rated R, because essentially this was a rated R Daredevil. I think that's gone, which is unfortunate. So, that's really going to Oh man, it's the Kingpin's not going to be as formidable. I'm just worried about that stuff. I really am. Howard Bandy, hello. How are you? Mr. Roboto, greetings. Derek Burns, just to let you know, Bradley Walsh Graham in Doctor Who is well known in the UK for being host of the ITV quiz show, The Chase and the Law and Order UK. Bradley Walsh is great. Okay, Derek Burns, I will tell you, I won't lie to you when there's something good, even in something bad. A great example, Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes movie, which is fucking awful, but Tim Roth puts in an Academy Award winning performance in that film. He came to work. He brought his lunch pail and came to work. And so does Bradley Walsh. Every time he's on Doctor Who, he steals the scenes. He's the most fleshed out character. He's absolutely a good thing in a bad show. So I don't have anything really bad to say to him. And it seems like they have the most fun writing him. And that's important. But one of the most noticeable things about Doctor Who is just the lack of experience in genre. And that seems to be quite a trend because genre is popular now, because it's more popular. More and more people are getting attached to it because they want it on their resume. And, you can't blame them for that. The problem is you can't just roll up and think you can do a comic book movie, or think you can do a superhero show, or think you can do Doctor Who or Star Trek or Star Wars. You can't. And some of these writing rooms have people that have zero experience because they're trying to fill out a quota based on skin color or sexual organs. That's not how things work in art and entertainment. It's you really want to do that. You really want to work that out in colleges and stuff like that, because when you start playing, hey, the private sector, as said in Ghostbusters, they expect results. Okay, and for some reason they've forgotten that they need results. And the new fans that they're bringing in, the fan compared to the fans they're losing. Like there's still people watching Doctor Who in the UK. That's undeniable. Problem is, it's not your hardcore Doctor Who fans. For example, me. I'll just use me as example. Losing me as a Doctor Who fan counts as about, I would say, a low estimate, 100 of your new Doctor Who fans, because I spent thousands of dollars on Doctor Who over time. Not like today or this year, but over time. And you're losing that. I don't want to get who wants, I'm sorry, but who wants a Ryan and a Yaz and a Bradley Walsh action figure? But Doctor Who, what was cool about Doctor Who is I have a Winston Churchill action figure, and I love it. And we can get those kind of action figures, but come on. Especially when, oh man, just the plots are so damn bad. Doctor Who Jumped the Frog. Yes. Oh, well said. Hamify Din. Am I saying that right? Doctor Who Jumped the Frog. The climax of yesterday's episode was it an animatronic frog or a bad CG frog? I've seen it reported both. It doesn't matter. It was bad. It was bad. If it was CG, you should have done a lot better job. Gilmore Girls shite. That's exactly what it is, Natasha Cloutier, sorry. It is Gilmore Girls shite. And, hey, Gilmore Girls has an audience. It's a good show for that audience. I don't watch it. It's not something I would cover. We cover mainly genre TV here. The only exception, I believe, is Better Call Saul. And that's just because and the exception is always we like wizards and spaceships and superheroes and drug deals gone bad. So Better Call Saul falls under drug deals gone bad. Maya Wrench, AK Katana. I have more writing credits on them. By the way, speaking of, yeah, I know I owe you a wrench. The DJG show. The DJG show is going to get wrenched, folks. I'm going to wrench him. He's here quite a bit. He shouts us out a lot. He's a patron. He has earned his wrench. But I'll do that in a little bit, my friend. Yes. Daredevil 2 Electrical Eel. You want bizarre? League of Gentlemen, says Odd Job. What's up, Odd Job? How's it going? I've seen a little bit of League of Gentlemen. Yeah, it's bizarre. Mark Gatiss, right? He's in that. They're going to be in all of the League of Gentlemen are going to be in Good Omens. They've been cast as the book dealers or something like that. So there you go. Having CD Horde. Sorry, seizure warning from the Christmas lights. You're all going to be hypnotized. Oh, I got to steal from Anti-Trekker, the Hypno Turd. I think he's like that. We love the Anti-Trekker here, by the way. Anti-Trekker is a good channel. Go check them out. So, yeah. Well, what'd you miss? Nothing much. I'm just doing an intro here. Captain Robert April. Please check out Captain Robert April is a good friend of the channel. He unfortunately got caught in the mess when YouTube last year changed their monetization policy from having 10,000 hours to having 10,000 hours to having 1,000 subscribers. So please check out his channel. He's so close. When you play in a universe that you have not created, you should learn. I got to make sure this stops. You should learn what it is, and it isn't what is and isn't possible. But they do not care. They don't even study up in the first place. Yeah, Nathan Norman. They mentioned the Zygons last episode. They also mentioned that the Doctor had 7 grandmothers. So we went full Zaphod, Beeblebrox, Hitchhiker, which, I mean, like, if you're going to draw on something, draw on the greatest book ever written. But, and yes, I do believe Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is the greatest book ever written. To me, it's my opinion. And that, I think, that little one-off statement is either they just didn't give a shit. And that's the biggest problem I had with Moffat. Moffat would just change canon flippantly and like not follow up on it or anything. And then all of a sudden it becomes canon and you're like, whoa. You know, they need to put some restraints on these people. So the Doctor had 7 grandmothers. Now, maybe the grandmother regenerated 7 times, but not every, you have to be a Time Lord to regenerate. So not every Gallifreyan can regenerate. You have to be a Time Lord. So was Grandma a Time Lord and was Grandma Grandpa before? Or I think they're going to mess with the Time Lord's backstory. I mentioned this in the recap. And I think we might find out that there's been more than 13 doctors. And, it's just going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. But my bold prediction is we're going to find out that the Doctor might have been a woman first. I'll go as far out to say that would, they might not. That would piss off a lot of people. I think that would even piss off the, defenders of this current show. But we'll see. I saw that article and we did a video on it about them changing the Time Lord's past, but they really haven't gone into it at all. We heard about the Timeless Child in the 2nd episode and haven't heard a peep. So it looks like they'll probably be doing that in the next episode. We're going to be doing something a little different next week. Okay. We're going to do a review and it's the season finale. So I'm going to do a review, but a lot of you want to talk about it. So right after the review, we're going to restart a live stream and we're going to do a live stream where you can vent away or vent at me or whatever. So we'll do 2 things next Sunday. Sunday. So be ready for that. Okay. The time on that I'll say would probably be about 1:15, 1:30 Pacific time. I will put it on the schedule. We also have Counterpart coming up, folks. That's a great show. I can't wait. I'm so excited for this. I just hope, I cross my fingers that like Counterpart doesn't get caught up in this current, Time's Up thing that's going on in Hollywood, and they need to rewrite the whole story, kind of like what happened in Westworld season 2. So I'm slightly worried about that, but not really that much. I'd rather have a Shatner Kirk show. Well, yeah, he's the same age as, isn't he around? Isn't he just a little bit older than Patrick Stewart? I don't know. I know he's in his 80s. We got a couple super chats here, actually, I have to acknowledge. So I apologize for that. Let's get to that right now. Chris Persia, congrats on 11K. Let's make 30 by Easter. That would be cool. But thank you, Chris Persia. Thank you so much for the $2 Canadian. And I am very happy with where we're at. This is freaking cool. And Wes Hatton, 99. Thank you for the €2 or pounds. I'm not sure which. Preacher has been renewed. Filming in Aussie. Very happy. I am extremely happy about that as well. I thought Preacher found itself again. It had season 2 had its problems. It had some really good episodes. It has some kind of boring episodes. Season 3 was fucking solid. It was really, really good. So I think they found themselves again. I like the new showrunner who's in charge seems to understand the comic. And the fact that they're going to Australia leads me to believe that they're going to be doing some Texas shooting. So going back to Texas, where Preacher belongs in Texas, if it's not going to be an on the road show, and I'm wondering if they're going to bring back a certain character who likes meat. We'll just say. Brett Newman, $5 super chat sponsored by Pete's promotional message of the day. Hail all, hail Gary, and thanks to the wrenches. Hail with a chance of snow. Hail with a chance of snow. We're all going to hail, folks. Yes. Oh man. One of the abandoned stories for the Doctor was one that said the Time Lords had a house system that like the Klingons, but it was dropped when when the Cardinal Master Plan came into effect. It really, Nathan, they could still do that. That would actually make sense. I mean, they're lords, so you want to make Time Lords like feudalistic or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I thought I was excited. Originally I was excited that the Time Lords were coming back. I was okay with the ending of Day of the Doctor. I love Day of the Doctor. I do. I just don't like that Clara was involved in the decision. The War Doctor was great. It still was. Yeah, it's such a bummer. Chris Eccleston said no, because that would have really. God, you may imagine Chris Eccleston being there, and just having somebody to talk to, because he was so tortured about the Time War. That would have been so great, but it was still damn good. But I hate now that they ended the Time War. I love the concept of the Time War. I thought that was fucking brilliant. And it was something you could have played on forever. Another missed opportunity I talked about from last episode was when they were coming on Grace behind the laundry. I'm like, oh man, are they going to bring in the Master or something, Missy? And no, it was just Grace. And in the Kerblam episode, I thought like maybe the Cybermen or the Daleks were behind it, and they because that would have been smart to say we're not bringing back the Daleks, and then bring back the Daleks and surprise the shit out of everybody, and maybe win some fans back. But Vikings is a show that I should have covered and I didn't. Natasha, that's my fault. Brian Smart, has the BBC forgot that the very first showrunner of Doctor Who was a woman? They obviously have. They've obviously forgotten that Doctor Who was pretty much created by a woman, and they've forgotten a lot of things. So we have a ton of people here. Let's get to the article, folks. It's from The Guardian. The Guardian. And I've just skimmed it, so we're going to read it together. And there we go. Okay. Doctor Who stars claims the show is too politically correct are bizarre. Now, before I get started, this is how they fight back. They do that. Oh, you little dumb person, you little dumb poor person who watches our show. Let me tell you how you're wrong. How you're so wrong, because we're all kindergarten students. Okay. And I love that it's Mandeep Gill and Tosin Cole, who are combined age not as old as me, probably. Say storylines create conversation about broader issues. Do they? Again, before I get into the article, let's just briefly talk about the Rosa episode. What happened in the episode? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. A space racist who broke out of prison, and they insinuated that he gave sexual favors to get a vortex manipulator. And yes, that's what they insinuated, that he gave up a little bit of the booty to get a vortex manipulator. And here, I'll turn the camera off, right? Because I'm a bit of a fan, so I have one right here. See, just handy because I want to travel time. So yeah, and they he just back, and he wants to stop the Rosa Parks getting on the bus, because apparently that's what changes everything in the universe. So apparently before Rosa Parks, the entire universe was segregated. I don't know, but all he said was this is where it all started, and used words like horrible things like your kind and stuff. But they never gave us any background on like where this dude was from. And this is the kind of thing you have to do if you're a good writer. Give us a snippet flashback of like when I was a boy, this happened, and that's why I hate people. Something. And no, he was just there. They showed up, they beat him, and like really silly. Like he had done all that preparing and then would hand his equipment over to the doctor who would just break it. I mean, it was just dumb. It was just dumb. And then they didn't stop. They didn't change the event. And they just sat there and watched and nothing happened. So they were there to observe it and they got to meet her. Okay, cool. Usually when they do historical episodes like that, the person is like involved in the story. Rosa Parks was peripherally involved. And it was just a big virtue signal. That's all it was. But there was no real meat to the plot. It didn't push anything forward. If they think, and I could see the writer's room like, oh my God, this is going to get so many people talking. And this is very important right now, especially all the British people talking about an American thing that was big. It transcends the world. And the issue itself, of course, it was important and it's awesome. And people should talk about it and you should read about it in a book, and they're teaching it in school. And there's entire documentaries you can go watch. I don't watch Doctor Who to talk about that stuff. An example of where it was done well was obviously the Vincent van Gogh episode, but it didn't deal with such it dealt with a dark issue, but it was a dark personal issue that everybody can relate to. And it also at the end, it would have been a completely that ending for the Vincent van Gogh episode is what made it a good episode. Is the doctor traveled in time, took Vincent van Gogh and showed his art at an art gallery and showed him that people loved him. Didn't change anything, but it was like a really heartwarming scene. It was really done well. And, the Rosa episode was just done. If you're going to go there, I think Rosa Parks deserves better writing. To be honest with you. And again, I am criticizing the episode on the content in the episode, not the issue. Okay, let's make that perfectly clear. And I will go back to the article here and then I'll get you to the chat. Because what we're trying to protect here, and I say we, my friends here at the channel and other YouTubers, is escapism, and it's getting ridiculous. It's turning into a platform for one ideology. And I'm not even saying I agree or disagree with this ideology at all. I don't want any politics that are personal. If you want to use it as allegory and stuff, that's what science fiction is for. The problem is the writers right now do not understand science fiction and genre. And it really is a different beast, folks. It's not, drama's easy. Drama's the easiest thing to write. The hardest thing to do is comedy. Right after that, science fiction. The stars of Doctor Who have rejected the claims that the program has become too politically correct, defending the storylines as an entertaining reminder. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. An entertaining reminder of important issues, because all of us little plebes aren't thinking about that stuff at all. We just consume stuff food in our mouth and watch Doctor Who and yeah, whatever. Recent episodes of the sci-fi show, which the actors recognize, have provoked extreme opinions. Is it extreme to say you're PC? Yeah. Among some viewers, commenting online have covered issues including the U.S. civil rights movement and the bloody 1947 partition in India. Yeah, that as well. Understood by many to have been entirely mismanaged by Britain. That is what the article says. Costing hundreds of thousands of lives, blah, blah, blah. Mandeep Gill and, which is terrible. Okay, I don't want to, but I'm trying to get through the article. Mandeep Gill and Tosin Cole, who play the doctor companions Yaz and Ryan, told the Radio Times that broaching these topics could prompt viewers in an entertaining way to think about broader issues. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. It is what it is. Oh, my favorite saying, Cole said. The fact that we can give everyone a little friendly, entertaining reminder of the issues is great. Do you guys think it's great? I'm going to ask you right now. Do you think it's great? I'd like to hear back from you on that. Yeah. Responding to the accusations of being too politically correct, Gil said, "It makes me laugh because having the words too and correct in the same sentence is really bizarre to me. How can you be too correct about something?" Said like yeah, like a 20 something. You do see the extreme comments under the news articles. I'm only human, and I think I do check and read them, but they don't bother me, and actually they're creating conversation, and that's a good attitude to take. Actually a good attitude to take. This series of Doctor Who is the first to have a female lead, with Jodie Whittaker receiving glowing reviews since assuming the role from the Doctor. Glowing reviews from the Access Journalism. The program generates the most revenue for the BBC worldwide since they, gutted Top Gear and got rid of Jeremy Clarkson, and all of its properties. Once merchandise and syndication is accounted for. Okay, that is key, folks. With a global audience of around 70 million people, that is based on past numbers. The global audience has been dipping like a rock. It's been doing okay in the UK, and the merchandising is doing terrible. In recent years, it has attracted a criticism for backstory heavy plots, which leave to casual viewers struggling to make sense of the complex storylines. Again, they're calling you stupid. The latest series, however, has been more concerned with pursuing standalone adventures and delving into historical events, dumping the more protracted story arcs of the past. The things that everybody likes right now, like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. I think the ratings for Game of Thrones have gone up every year, and it is one of the most convoluted TV stories out there that I love, by the way, with one of the biggest casts. Something, if you jumped in halfway, you wouldn't know what the hell is going on, but it's entertaining enough to where if you started at like the Red Wedding, you'd want to backtrack and go check it out. So yeah. So I'm sorry, what was that again? People aren't big on the, isn't that what pretty much every series is doing right now? Yeah, that's dumb. There will be no Doctor Who Christmas special this year, with an episode set to air on New Year's Day instead. Oh, please. Fucking please. Oh, where do I start with that? Okay. It's bizarre when you have too and correct in the same sentence. Yeah, that is not exactly an argument there, Cole. So I will just say, youngster, that life is a matter of perspective. Life is a matter of perspective, and your perspective. I don't know what it is. I don't know you. You don't know me. But I try to assume that everybody in this chat has lived a pretty full life, has done a few things, and I'm not going to assume you're stupid. And that's what the BBC is doing. So they're like, okay, it's learning time, everybody. Let's watch Doctor Who and let's everybody learn. Put away your crayons and your paper, sit with your hands in your lap, and everybody watch Mrs. BBC tell a story. So yeah. Elitism. Fucking elitism. Wes Hatton 99. Thank you for the £2 or euros. Also, congrats on 11K. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I like how they tried to mix in entertaining, and that's what you forgot to do. I probably wouldn't be bitching about political correctness if these episodes were entertaining, and they're not. Because entertainment is not your priority. I'd say it's third or fourth. It's pretty much, you're making these shows. God, this what's happening right now has all happened in comics before and games and everything. They're making these shows for Radio Times and The Guardian and other actors and other networks, so they can all talk to each other on Twitter and at parties and stuff. They're not making stuff for fans anymore, like at all. And their attempts at fan service are completely weak. Like, oh, let's put a scarf on Jodie. There you go. Remember the scarf? Scarves are awesome. Tom Baker scarf. Yeah. You need to entertain. You need to bring in somebody who knows something about Doctor Who, which I thought Chibnall actually did. Now, he has not written very many good Doctor Who episodes, maybe one, but I thought he knew about the show. So he's either not running a writing room, and maybe that's not what they're doing. What the showrunner for Doctor Who does, I believe, is they plot everything out and then they give the story to the writer, and like, we want it, they give them parameters and then the writer has to fill it out. Okay. And they make sure they hit plot points to carry that, those boring story arcs that are too convoluted for the dumb people to watch. That's what made things interesting. They stopped doing that right after Day of the Doctor, and it really, it's kind of sucked. It's kind of sucked since then. I mean, it was fading out. They had some overarching stuff with Capaldi, but not much. The Missy stuff, the Missy thing was probably the last one I can remember that was decent. But they still didn't put, they sprinkled it in a little bit. But man, season 10 was just all one-off episodes. After taking a year break, I thought we were going to get this great swan song from Stephen Moffat. I thought he was going to like roll his sleeves up and fucking just write his ass off, and we were going to get something just amazing. And, we didn't. And season 11 is worse than season 10, and season 10 was bad. This is the worst season. I don't care how great the next episode could be the best Doctor Who episode of all time. This has been the worst season of Doctor Who by far. And they talk about that merchandising stuff. Well, you don't get merch. Well, you're going to find out at the after the holidays, but just go look how much, compare how much Jodie Whittaker stuff was out there compared to David Tennant stuff. And they're still remaking David Tennant stuff. That's where the money comes in. All right. That's their cash flow. It's like, I stopped buying stuff. It kills me, but I stopped buying stuff because I don't want to support this. And the only way you stop this stuff is by not paying them. If you're actually watching them and you're not, giving any money, that's one way to do it. The show was going out with a bang. Now it's going out with a fart, says Nathan Norman. Yes. Actually, I have a Tom Baker, a Dr. Scarf, which came straight from Shenzhen, China. Says Stephanie Littlepage. You know what? I want one. I think I'm going to get one. I think I'll ask Mrs. Nerdrotic. Maybe that's what I want my stocking this year. If you want to, guys, okay, so I'm not used to having this many people here, and it's really great. So if you want to get my attention, you do not have to do super chats. Do at Nerdrotic channel. I will try to get to as much stuff as I can. I promise you that. But I don't know if I can get to everybody. I'm sorry. Okay, so we got some super chats here. I got to get to those real quick. Okay. Silhouetted Animator, $2. Congrats on 11K. Thank you, Silhouetted Animator. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Steel Johnson. Hail, Steel Johnson, for $2. Super secret, silent super chat while at work. Shh, quiet. He's lurking and working. Sculpted leather art by Viking Bitch, $5, which you do not need to do, Viking Bitch. Nerdrotic channel is bigger on the inside. Congrats on 11K. Thank you. Sculpted leather art by Viking Bitch. The hunky chunky funky monkey. What's up? Screw New Who. Load of poo. To SJW. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Well played. Well played. I love the hunky chunky funky monkey. I just like saying his name too. And Tamarox. Hail Tamarox. I really need to find out what these showrunners are thinking, because clearly it's mind bending. Yeah, there's some timey-wimey shit going on in their brains. But when you hang around a bunch of people who are just like-minded, and it just it turns into a bunch of quacking, quack, quack, quack. There's no diversity of thought. There's no diversity of thought in this. And the Doctor was preachy as hell in this episode. Just like the look on her face with that dumb plot with Eric, the bad dad. Eric, the half B. Sorry. That really pissed me off. They really went out of their way to write a bad dad. I was like, oh, we're going to get a good dad this episode? Oh, man. And we got a bad dad in Nightflyers. They came out with it. It started as a good dad. Then we got a bad dad. The Rookie Critic. The Rookie Critic. What is up? Check out the Rookie Critic. He's fun. He does a lot of stuff. He's just part of a lot of good chats, and he makes his own content over there. I don't know if you're a rookie anymore, but he's getting up there. He's got 300. How close are you to 300 subs? You said like 20, something like that. Go check him out. He's an up-and-comer, folks. Only 11K, must be double within a month. Hey, dude. Hey, that's a lot of pressure. I'm only 11K. Dude, I am stoked at 11K, but thank you, my friend. Thank you. It's good to see you, the Rookie Critic. Go check out the Rookie Critic, folks. Let's get back to the chat here. You guys are brilliant. Um, oh, let's go here. Somebody like the Magic School Bus cartoon? It's the Magic School Bus now. It says the G is it the Gen Thrand? Thenthrand. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Yeah, with the Magic School Bus was probably better than this. Why do I know that from somewhere? Maybe I did see the Magic School Bus and BBC BPC. Yes, Brent Newman. It's the PC BBC. Yes. We're being lectured to. We are being lectured to. I don't need a lecture. I didn't like school, and I really don't need it from a bunch of youngsters who really haven't, with not a lot of experience, who are just echoing stuff that they hear from their lords and masters at the BBC. The problem is there's nothing we can do about this, folks. Like with Star Trek, with Star Wars, if you don't buy it, they're going to listen. They're going to turn stuff around. Now, is it too late for those two things? I am of the opinion, at least with Star Wars, yes, it's way too late. Star Trek, it's getting close. Doctor Who, we're powerless. But Doctor Who belongs to the BBC forever, and they're going to do what they want with it. And they things work a little differently over there. I guess they don't really, like, making money is not the priority. So I don't know what. All I can do is vent. And I've got 49 years of Doctor Who that I can go back to, and 50 years and enjoy. Brian Smart, thank you for the $5 super chat. Granted, Doctor Who's original concept of the show was children about history, but not rewriting history to benefit political SJW objectives. Agreed. It's supposed to be, you can do dark and thrilling. And you mix in dark elements, but I'll just give you modern Doctor Who seasons 1 through 4 are perfect. There's a couple of bad episodes in there, but they're perfect. I love and they're a show for everybody. I would sit we would do viewing parties at my comic store, and we had kids, we had their parents. It would be packed, and San Francisco, pretty diverse place. It was a huge, diverse crowd, all there for the love of Doctor Who. Nobody was bitching about anything, and we just had a good time. Now, if I did viewing parties, I don't know if I would get anybody. Even the people who would defend this stuff don't like the show on its content. I have some friends who politically, absolutely would be just okay with everything in there, and they don't like it. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about content, folks. We're talking about context. Content. Sorry, not context. Context is for kings. Chimble is the worst writer ever. I'd say he's on Kurtzman's level of stupidity and lack of talent. Mako. Hi, Mako. Absolutely. Chibnall, the only thing I'll say in his defense is I think they talked him into it. I think they just gave him a buttload of money and said, please run our show. Because he's said in the past he didn't want to do it. And apparently it was offered to a couple people, and they turned it down. So I don't know that for a fact. That's just what I've heard. So that could be just internet rumor shit. Or Blink was great, Kato. That is the good starter episode. Mrs. Nerdrotic, who doesn't like Doctor Who, likes that episode. So trying to get caught up on the chat here. My goodness. Justin Doyle, £2. Thank you very much. Do you have a question? Shoot a question in. Thank you. I appreciate it. And we will be talking about other things too. So getting back to the super chats. Okay, we're good. I have no choice in paying the BBC because it's part of the TV license, and we have to pay to be able to watch TV even on the computer. Whoa, what? Really? Um, you know, maybe that made sense back in the day. I know I never thought it made sense. Now you guys don't get commercials, right? So there's that. Honestly, well, we get host here because now we have to pay for cable, which is essentially our TV license, and we have to watch commercials. So I cut my cord a long time ago, so I don't watch cable, but it's still, the streaming services. So you still have to pay a license, even if you're not watching your television. So you have to pay a license to watch Netflix. That's what the hell. The BBC needs overseas revenue to pay for production of Doctor Who. It is the most expensive show to make, says Simon Hawk. Yes, it is, and they absolutely need it. And they get revenue streams like us. It's really popular in South Korea. It's really popular it's huge in Australia. It's pretty popular here. Not as popular as it was. It had its moment and it's gone. It was huge here in 2012 and 2013 during the 50th anniversary. Doctor Who had finally done something that could not do. It could not have done before that, and it was due to the 50th anniversary. But before that, it was Netflix. Netflix airing all the Doctor Who seasons made Doctor Who popular here, and the biggest mistake they made, and I love Amazon Prime, was moving off of Netflix to Amazon Prime, and that did hurt it. There's still more people on Netflix right now and it's just, I don't know, it's easier to access. I have no explanation. I watch it on Amazon Prime all the time, even though I own, Blu-rays of everything. And yeah, that was just a huge mistake because that got a lot of people into it. I was playing it in my comic store for about a year straight. I just had it on a loop. I would start at, I'd play some of the older stuff, and then I'd start 2005 episode 1 and run through the seasons and then start all over again. And people would come into the store, shop for comics. I was making Doctor Who fans left and right. They would buy a couple comics, and I had these couches. They would just sit there and watch Who, all day, which they were welcome to do. We always had people hanging out in the store. Comic shop owners, video system, do it, and couches. Make it like a club, like a bar. Bryce Douglas says, Nerdrotic channel, writing genre isn't even all that difficult when you come into it from perspective of trying to tell a good story. Most of these writers nowadays don't even do that. No, I think it helps. There is no shortage of writers who have been genre fans all their lives. I would say, God, I don't know. I would say a large percentage of the writers probably started as genre fans. And science fiction in particular. I mean, Doctor Who's not as sci-fi as Star Trek. It's sci-fi fantasy. So you can come from a lot of angles and write Doctor Who. You could be a horror writer and you can go write Doctor Who. Okay. Actually that would be interesting. And it's okay to bring in new people as long as you're supervised by somebody who knows their shit. Like I said, it was reported that Chris Chibnall's unhappy, and we have heard zero denials on Jodie Whittaker leaving and Chris Chibnall leaving. And it has gone around enough to where I think it is warrant some kind of a response. So the silence is deafening, like I said in my video. So I think it's true. I think they are gone. We got a super chat here from the Rookie Critic. After the trilogy, it'll be Star Wars franchise Force Ghost. 18 subs from 300. There you go. You're close. Even if I get 100K, I'll be the Rookie Critic and keep rocking, man. Fuck yeah. You stay real. Excuse my language. Some of you guys are work. Sorry about that. I'm crass. I'm one of those plebes that they're talking down to, that they feel like the issues need to be moved forward because, I don't know anything and I haven't done anything. I love it when 20 somethings tell me that too. It's my favorite thing. Not saying I know everything. Okay. There's a bunch of dumb 50-year-olds out there. I have no choice. Okay. You've already read that one, but yeah, if you're right, Bryce, if you're passionate about writing, part of that passion is I'm going to learn. So you don't have to come from genre, but take the time. take the if I got the Doctor Who job, the first thing I would do is for one, it could catapult your career. Don't half-ass it. I would not take any jobs. I would sit my ass down and I would watch every episode. You got a month. You can watch every episode of Doctor Who in a month. You're getting paid big money to write professionally for Doctor Who. It goes in your resume. It looks great. Goes whatever, that's what I would do. When we started YouTubing here and I started things started happening, I went to the goddamn VidCon, which was boring as hell, but I learned as much as I could. I asked as many questions I could. I actually pulled aside a couple of big YouTubers and just asked them a couple questions. I wanted to know everything about the algorithm, everything. Most people couldn't tell me shit about the algorithm though, because nobody understands it. But that's aside. I tried to figure it out when I opened my comic store. I had never run a business before. So I bought my Small Business for Dummies book and I read it cover to cover about 7 times. And then I talked to other comic shop owners, asked them how they did things and stole a lot of their ideas. And it worked out for 10 years. The UK has a stupid amount of taxes. They used to tax windows for a century. They used to tax windows a century ago, but there is a bedroom tax now for people in council housing. So they tax the council housing people. I have a couple friends who grew up in council houses. My mates. That's fucked up. Chicago guys is going to start a tax that I can't believe San Francisco didn't think of this first. Which, if you don't know, that's where I live. An entertainment tax. They're going to treat it like a sin tax. Fight that one. Believe me, I'll make a video on that soon. It is coming to a city near you. Sav, hello from the UK. Hello, all my friends in the UK. Freaking love the UK. At least we haven't had a major crap episode since Arachnids. I disagree. I disagree. Okay, Arachnids was a major crap episode. Last episode, it had potential, and then that ending was just dumb as hell. Nigel, come on, the frog. And then they're running down I felt okay. It's great that they hired that they got they got a blind girl and they gave her some work and she was cute. Hannah was cute. But get a stunt woman for when they're running down the hallways, because that scene where Ryan and her are running, they're just like doing the kid run, like when you're running with like a little 6-year-old. That's what it was. And yeah, I know it sounds harsh, but yeah, we are watching multi-million-dollar entertainment here, not a school play. And that's what I'm talking about. This is like funsy onesie, silly Billy, meaningless, pointless, disposable crap. Is that what your biggest show, your biggest money maker? You're just going to roll out this crap and people are watching. And honestly, if you keep watching this stuff, this is what you're going to get. The problem is people were going to watch this whole season. People were going to watch it all the way through. You will see the results of this next season. And the best example is you are seeing the results from The Last Jedi with Solo. And wait till episode 9 comes out. Plan 9, Star Wars Plan 9. They're going to be very disappointed with what they get. Doctor Who has become something your mom would make, says Justin Doyle. When years ago, you'd be watching Doctor Who, your mom would come in and say, "What are you watching?" Exactly. Oh, man. And it's okay that we want mom to watch, but we want her to say that first. What are you watching? It's like, sit down, mom. Like I said, that really sappy mom and son story that was on, I was watching the BBC Live, and that really sappy mom and son Christmas ad you guys had about, family and togetherness at the BBC, and the mom, the son wants to hang out with mom and mom goes to work. She kind of blows off her kid. He feels bad. And then they're separating, they're getting frustrating. The kid's playing a video game and mom's at work, and then time stops. And then she realizes, I need to spend time with my son. I'm a, asshole. And then she runs to the amusement park and hangs out with her son. And then when she kisses him on the head, time starts going again. It's really cute and sappy. And you guys are sappy over there. I like that about you. I do. That's my favorite thing about the UK. Love Actually is the sappiest shit ever. And I fucking love that movie. Yeah, that was better than the Doctor Who episode. Mage Grey Wolf says, sounds like you have an awesome, you had an awesome comic shop. Don't think I've been to one like it. It was unique. One of these days I'll bore you with pictures with it. Tune in December 7th. December 7th, it's a very special live stream in the morning. Chris Cocker, yes, it's Dr. Woke. It is straight up Dr. Woke. That's what I might title the last episode. Titling's very important for YouTube, but I might just break out the Dr. Woke. Yeah, it was a fun place. It was a fun place. I don't believe in, I'm a maximist, not a minimalist. So I do not like empty spaces. So if you see my office here, the comic shop was like this. No wasted space. And everything was for sale. Yeah, and then Justice Oil says, and you'd say, it's Doctor Who, Mom, about a time traveling alien. And she'd roll her eyes and said, whatever, you need to do the dishes and take the bins out. Oh, take the bins out. You guys are great. The bins. I'm going to start calling them bins. I like how you say aluminium too. I don't say aluminum anymore. There are some, yeah, you know, English is my second language. The Rookie Critic, Clone Commander Jeremy. Is he in here? We love Clone Commander Jeremy. We love all the Jeremys here. We're fans of Jeremy. And then you come to the next day and Mom would say, I've made a new Doctor Who where everyone plays nice and aliens have feelings too, you know, and you don't listen to your dad and he's a doofus. That is brilliant, Justin Doyle. That is exactly what it was. Oh, yes. Oh, man. That was good. Yes. It's straight up is written by your mom. Oh, that is great. We got a $5 super chat from Bourbon Sherbert. Frog equals Trump, mirror universe equals conservative party, and the women had to save all the men. Think about it. Run with the idea, down with the SJ Who. Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about it, but yes. And it's well, yeah. Are you saying okay? It was all like a so that mirror universe was a trap by like giving you the illusion of familiarity, but once they get in you, they make you into a bad person. I think they have that worldview. I don't. We don't get political here, so I mean not actually at all ever. And I'll just tell you, I'm very independent when it comes to my politics. I'm neither one side or the other. I don't like playing sides. I am all for us commonality. All right. I think we have way more in common than we do not. So, but yeah, I see that worldview, and that's the worldview they have is they think they are neutral, and they're not. They're not. They're simply not. And that's all I ask. I don't want a bunch of right-wing stuff in there either. It's that I would be bitching just as much. I just don't want, I want to escape. I want to turn my brain off and watch Doctor Who. And it's very important to do that in life. It's not important to do it all the time. Okay. That's not good, but a little bit of just like, I need to chill. I've worked my ass off at work. Like, I know like Viking bitch has like this insanely stressful job. She does like, God's work, working with kids and stuff like that, but she needs to go home and watch some Vikings, and she doesn't want Vikings, bringing in like, using current politics, in medieval or, medieval time, whatever times of Viking, in Viking, in ancient Vikings, and they, but that's the shit they're doing right now. And it's fucking bugging the shit out of me. So much so I'm talking about it a lot, and we've seen it coming for years and years. It's actually for comic books, guys. It was building up for years. The UK has okay, I already read that part. Let's get back down here. Okay. You have to realize I'm not writing, Chris Chimballs is here, everybody. He says, you have to realize I'm not writing for older pre-existing fans. I'm writing for easily triggered NPCs, the future of fiction. Yes. they're alienating. We are disposable now. They have, in no uncertain terms, told us to go take a hike. And I don't know why. I think you can write something that everybody likes, kind of like it was. If you feel like you need to put some of today's stuff in there, use technology. There's tons of material that you can use from our times right now to make a story. Just us being plugged into everything. The inner, something like that. I don't know. The Mars lander goes to Mars and digs too deep and picks something. It's something. They find an ancient Dalek or whatever. Like you can use current stuff that isn't divisive. We have way too much divisiveness. We don't need it in our entertainment. I think the one thing what I see people are really, really fucking sick of is the divisiveness. It's like, I am tired. I am way over it. We need our escapism. You're right, OG Spocklove. And it just fucking sucks that it's happening to Doctor Who. And yeah, we are powerless over this one because if we stop buying it, they don't give a shit. They don't. It has to crater for them to care, and I don't know if it's going to do that yet. It's got a freaking loyal ass fan base that's gonna watch this stuff no matter what. And I'm a huge fan, but I'll equate it to like for your sports ball team, whatever sport. There's fans who just love everything they do and they could do no wrong. And then there's fans like, that guy's a bum, get him out of here. That I'm that kind of fan. Like, I love my Doctor Who, but if it's sucking, I'm not gonna like deny it. Do you want a little cameo in a skit I'm making? Doomcock is in it. Sure. Yeah. DM me on Twitter. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Be an honor. Thank you so much, the Rookie Critic. That is an honor. It is a great honor. Mr. Twisted 72 said season 5, episode 1 of Vikings is a mind blower for me. I'm behind on that show. Vikings writer takes over Doctor Who, says Cody. We had a Skins writer and a Doctors writer. Now, Skins, it was okay. I'm not going to say anything bad about Skins. The Doctors, I don't know anything about. So I'm doing another video, and I have to watch a couple episodes of the Doctors for research. So am I going to be? Is it good? Is it bad? What is it? I don't even know what it is. Captain Robert Abril, found a monthly. Science fiction is supposed to make you think, not preach to you about or not preach to you about an ideology. Exactly. It's supposed to, it's broader than that. It's it's broader than some single issue. And past science fiction has done it beautifully. Dav, R.I.P. Doctor Who. That's where we're at right now. We got one more. We got 2 more episodes, and we will cover New Year's. So the New Year's special. It sounds to me like they rushed the production through, and that's probably why it got delayed. They had to. I thought they put more work into these things than they actually do. I thought they like maybe plan these things out years ahead. They don't. And it's surprising. I did some work in Hollywood stuff, and that was the one thing surprised me is, especially in the executive level, how little work is actually put in and how much shit is done last minute. Like how much, like millions of dollars are gathered last minute and a movie just starts. And you think maybe, and maybe they used to do this, like take a year to plan a movie. Now the writer of the script did, but everybody else, it's like within a month, they put everything together. And sometimes, people are good enough to where that doesn't show. But yeah, what I heard is the production delay rumor that was attributed to season 12 being delayed actually was what was behind the Christmas episode. The thing is, Stephen Moffat insinuated that once you gave up that slot, man, it's gone. You got to wait for somebody else to give it up to get it back. So there will be no more Christmas specials. Doctor Who's always been political. He is British. Leonid, there is the Doctor has not always been political. No, they've had political moments in the show. I've seen every episode. So there's been political moments, but it's not political every episode. Actually, it quite no, no. Um it's lightly political and stuff, but they have never like mentioned a president by name. They have not talked about current administrations. They've talked about broad issues before, which is no problem. And the Doctor has always been anti-gun. I mean, of any kind, laser gun that shoots bullets, doesn't like shooting. That's why it was very surprising that the Doctor, even we knew the Doctor wasn't serious, pointed her sonic screwdriver and threatened Ribbon's life. I was like, what? Huh? Usually the Doctor says, you have me to deal with. What happened to the Doctor who always gave somebody a chance? The Doctor who had a chance to wipe out the Daleks and didn't do it. Yeah. I mean, yes, the Doctor did kill everybody in the Time War, but it killed his own race too. And it was to save the fucking universe. The universe was going to like collapse on itself. The Time Lords had gone like way off the chain, and the Daleks were just wiping everything out, and the Time Lords had become just as bad as the Daleks, and they were just killing people left and right. That's when the Doctor had to do it. And of course, the Doctor's punishment was living, which I really liked, by the way. I did like that. But the Doctor's, I've never seen the Doctor like go, put him, I'll kill you. It's like, what? Cool. Thanks. Brian Smart sent me a message about Axanar, green light theory. Yeah, they said they're going to, Axanar is going to, Star Trek Axanar, which is amazing, folks. It's a fan-made thing. Checking out Star Trek Axanar if you're a Star Trek fan or if you're not. And it looks like they got a 2-hour production going. I don't know if they're going to be able to show 2 hours in a row, but that's pretty cool. JD Brisboy's timeout. It isn't all about escapism, guys. Like me, I enjoy quality storytelling and passionate about witnessing teams of creators produce imaginative work. Yeah. If you're into the creative part, JD, yes, I am too. I've been part of it, and it's really one of the funnest things you can do. It's amazing. It's so much fun to create something and see it, take off. But yeah, I love creativity. I love art. I'm talking in the past era. Yes, they did mention Nixon in the Moffat era. So when I'm talking about modern, I'm talking Moffat on. This PC shit started with Moffat, and what we're getting, so Chibnall is just carrying the torch along. Yes, Nixon was mentioned a few years ago, but I'm talking about the first incarnation of Doctor Who, the one that ran from 1963 to 87, 88, something like that. I don't recall them mentioning a president by name, and if they did, it might have been in passing. I haven't watched like the Seventh Doctor multiple times, like I've watched all the other Doctors and the first Doctor. I mean, you can't watch all of their episodes, all the first and second Doctor's episodes, and those are the ones I've watched the least. But man, I've watched the shit out of 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. I actually I like Trial of the Time Lords. I thought it was good. The Doctor is Batman. No, the Doctor is not. The second Doctor was the one that started the first Doctor tried to bash in a caveman's head to save his granddaughter. Well, yeah, and the third Doctor used to beat people up. So yeah, sonic shotgun. Yes, all I could hear, was the War Doctor going, "What are you going to do? Assemble a cabinet?" It's a good line. Joker 79. Doctor Who has gotten into morality, not really politics. Why would a Time Lord care about Earth politics? Exactly. There's a comic book that did that a couple years ago when Odin talked about the politics of Israel. The Norse god Odin. Yes. So, I mean, it's not just happening in Doctor Who. It's been happening in comics, and the data is in, folks. For those of you who are not reading the comic books, the comic book sales have cratered. 68. Okay, so there's only 2,000 comic book shops left in the United States of America, a country of 300 million people, plus minus something like that. And it used to have 4,000 comic shops. During my era, which is in the early aughts to 2013, they had about 3,000. Now they have under 2,000 because they lost 68 comic stores in the last 18 months and more to come because the comic sales have cratered. Why? Because they've sucked. They've been very political. Now, DC has done its best to keep things around, but DC is just not ever going to be the big dog when it comes to comics. You need both DC and Marvel. You need them both to be successful. And if one goes down, the whole industry goes down. And it's an industry that was like teetering on the edge and dying anyway. They just hit the gas pedal on their death. And now it's spread into TV. And I think we're going to be getting that with Marvel comic or the MCU very soon. 330 million. Thank you, Bryce. Yeah. Tiki of Doom. Yeah, like the Marvel movies that don't help comic stores at all, because when the Marvel movies are out, they do things like kill Captain America or change or have him be somebody else, and they do Lady Thor when there's successful Thor movies out. So you come into the comic store going, I like that Thor movie. I want to buy a comic book. And what? Thor's a girl? Huh? And they're calling her Thor, even though Thor's a name. It's not a moniker. It's not a title. It's a name. Neil Adams talked about the industry in Kevin Smith's podcast. I'd be very interested to hear that. I've talked to Neil quite a few times. Ask him about his shrinking Earth theory. It's very interesting. Yeah, Corman. I hated the sheer laziness of that Israeli politics. It was really, and many videos were made about it. No one reads anymore. I work at a library. I know, says OG Spock Love. Well, there's that too. And yeah, there's so many contributing factors to comic books going down. It's video games. People don't read. So they didn't need the help of being shitty. They really should be better than ever right now. But the problem is they can't afford good writers, or Disney does not want to pay good writers. Marvel's notoriously cheap. DC's doing their best again. But DC, every time DC makes any strides, that it's one step forward, two steps back with Dan Didio, the guy who runs DC. Hail to the Exozone. It was great Saturday night. Thank you, Matt Guy. Exozone is our woo-woo show that we do once in a while. So, I mean, there's a disclaimer on it. So if you're not into like UFOs and stuff like that, please don't check it out. But if you are, we're doing one next Saturday on if Doomcock can do it. It's tentative. Next Saturday on Doomcock's channel. We are doing. Neil Adams may be eccentric, but the crazy made a recent Dead Man fun as hell to read. KSS, he's eccentric, and I love him. Neil Adams is one of my favorite all-time artists. I think he drew the best Batman ever. Rube's Good Brain Coffee, aka Coffee Beer, Coffee Bear. Here's the thing. Because every character is PC, there's no surprises about the characters. Nobody responds to anything in a surprising way. When King James propositions Ryan, I know, right? And like the proposition should be like, they could have made it funny. Like Ryan at first doesn't like know what's up. Like he doesn't realize King James is like totally hitting on him. And that's another thing is Alan Cummings was funny as King James. It was funny, but I mean, like they kind of made him a clown too. And listen, if making all the men idiots was just once in a while, great, no problem. But it's like everything. It's in fucking everything. Listen, I even see signs of it. Man and Wasp, which is a movie people liked. I did not. I think it's one of the worst MCU movies because Paul Rudd, who, yes, Lang is supposed to be, He's supposed to be originally, and from the comics, he's not an idiot. He's got some decision making problems, which is say he's not big on morals. Okay, but he's not an idiot. In the second Ant-Man movie, his costume was always malfunctioning, and he did shit by accident, and he was just a fucking moron through the whole thing, and it was annoying as hell. And I like Paul Rudd, and I like the first Ant-Man, but you just wait till Avengers 4 comes out. Oh, you're right. It was Boar. I tried to forget about it. Nathan Norman. Not Odin, but it was Odin's father, which, okay, it doesn't matter. It was a Norse god commenting on current politics. Exozone was freaking awesome. Yes, it was. Thank you. 3 a.m. start to my Saturday. Okay, sorry. Hail Exozone, says Tiki of Doom. That's awesome. Captain Robert April, what's up? When there are only 35 cents, you could afford to go off on the occasional tangent. Yes, you could. I loved Exozone, says Stephanie Littlepage. Thank you very much. Give Chibnall's leavings would still want the Daleks and Cybermen. Given Chibnall's leanings, would you still want the Daleks and the Cybermen back? I'm pictured the Daleks with SJW colored wigs slapped on Ken Weber. Yeah. Yes. Kay Weber. I also say that, I wanted Torchwood back, and they're strongly hinting on bringing Torchwood back and Captain Jack. And then I think it's the current BBC, and maybe I don't want that back. Maybe it's just best if we don't have them come back. Malwinius, Serrano, all from York. Yes, exactly. Paul Rudd was rescued, reduced to a dumb, funny sidekick in his own movie. Yes, agreed. Absolutely agreed. Women are always competent, and female antagonists are always redeemable. Men are trash. Writer's Room in 2018, says Simon Hawk. Yes. And, it's not like I want all women put into the corner. Okay. We want them written. They're all soulful sages, or yes. And the villains, it's redeemable, or it's somebody else's fault. Or right now, the only flaw with women in some shows in current writing rooms is they trusted a man, which is hilarious. And again, if it's once in a while, fine. Nobody has a problem with that. Listen, women have, for lack of a better term, women have gotten the shaft in Hollywood. That is absolutely a fact. And Hollywood has some making up to do. But they try to make it sound like it was the fans. We didn't cast these people. We buy what we are given, and Hollywood has been horrible to men and women. And they need an HR department, and they need to work that out. And it sucks that when a woman hits 40, she's done. Her career is over, unless she's like somebody's mom or an aunt. They need to work on that. Sure, absolutely. But you don't do it by getting rid of something else or making something else look stupid. You just show them the respect that they deserve and build them up. You don't slap a label on something. There was a Deadline article talking about all the female superhero movies and how great this is. It was based on the success of Wonder Woman, and everything they brought up has not come out yet. And I mean everything. They brought up Captain Marvel. They brought up the Dark Phoenix, which I would not bring up Dark Phoenix as an example, because that movie's going to be a complete crap show. It's been delayed almost a year and a half, multiple reshoots. It's going to be a mess. Captain Marvel could be good. I don't know. I'm like not the biggest Brie Larson fan, and Katie Sackhoff. And I hear people say too old. No, Captain Marvel's a woman. I think actually my biggest problem with Brie Larson is she's too young for the role. She's too young. Captain Marvel has to have some experience. You want her to be the Captain America? You don't cast a 27-year-old. Sorry, 27-year-old. You get like a 35-year-old, a 40-year-old. Get Katie Sackhoff, who has proven her mettle in Battlestar Galactica. She would have been a brilliant Captain Marvel. And we got the Skrulls coming in, and some of it sounds cool, but then there's the baggage Captain Marvel has with Marvel. It's a tainted character right now. We got a new poster here. I'll share with you now. And we got the trailer coming tonight. And listen, I'm not going to be, the first trailer was not good. Okay. It wasn't good. But I am not going to be, I will wait to see the movie before I speculate on it. People are talking about this being possibly the introduction to SJW Marvel in the MCU, and that could be happening. I'm not going to say that's not going to happen. Kevin Feige is only so powerful, but I think he's a smart man. Now, Marvel's biggest mistake is not introducing Captain Marvel earlier. They should have done it a long time ago. And I know Kevin Feige has come out and, well, he hasn't said it because he doesn't say anything. The man's brilliant. Okay. Perlmutter was blamed for not bringing out Captain Marvel at first, and it's true. And he was quoted in saying nobody would be interested in seeing a girl superhero movie. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. Here's the biggest difference. Everybody's basing success on Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is a unique, great character. She is part of the holy trinity of DC. She's in the top 3 characters. She sold comic books for 75 years. She's never really had a movie. They introduced her. For one, you did it right by introducing her in Batman versus Superman, even though that was a crap movie. She was good in it. Gal Gadot was good in it. And you made a competent, decent movie. It wasn't the best movie ever. It had kind of a messy third act, but it had some really good superhero scenes. And the reason it was a success is because they didn't get preachy in it at all. They just, here's Wonder Woman. Here's a superhero kicking some ass, beating up some bad guys, and boom, you had a success. I mean, it's not rocket science, people. If they do that with Captain Marvel, if Brie Larson can, if Gal Gadot has charisma, okay, Gal Gadot has a screen presence. People could say what they want about her acting, but she has a presence on screen that you can feel. And you need that to be Wonder Woman, and you need that to be Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's a blank slate, so they can kind of do whatever they want. I'm one of the few commentators out there who's actually read pretty much, not the modern garbage, but all the Miss Marvel comics. And I mean, going back to when I was a kid. As a matter of fact, they're right here by my feet in my comic boxes. I read Miss Marvel as a kid. Yeah, I like the character. There wasn't much to her personality wise. I mean, like most characters from the 70s, 80s, she was pretty stoic and was a hero. And they've turned her into something else, which sucks. I hope they don't do that in the movie. I hope the Captain Marvel, who is Miss Marvel, they bring in is Carol Danvers from the 80s, or Carol Danvers prior to getting almost killed by Rogue. Miss Marvel. If they do that, then they have a chance of success. If they do anything preachy, and I mean, people are going to be looking for that stuff. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Marvel made a huge mistake by not integrating her in earlier into the Avengers films. And if they have her being, a Deus Ex Machina, where she comes in and gets the kill shot on Thanos, which I have been predicting here for since they announced, that will be a problem. That will piss people off. And I hope they don't do that. She can be part of the team. But it just sucks. And a lot of people might not know, because they're not reading comics right now, like how bad her rep is in the comics. And she was part of, she was part of Secret Empire. It was just bad. It was just bad. And they've done the character harm. They've done the character harm. The Rookie Critic just DM'd you on Twitter. You demand 13 away from 300. Hey, if there are any content creators in here, big or small, I'll check you out. Hey, yeah, he's really good with helping out other YouTube channels and stuff. And I love that we help each other out. I think that's fucking cool. So people have helped. Englentine has had me on his live streams, and my friend Comics Division and Feisty Fan and Doomcock and Midnight's Edge. These are all people who have shouted us out, and Anti-Trekker. Yeah, I really appreciate that stuff. I liked Gal Gadot. I thought she was she's a great Wonder Woman. She's a great Wonder Woman. At first I was like, she's a little too skinny. But she's good. um, Marvel. So I see. They should do a Knight and Squire movie. Marvel's going to be doing a Captain Britain. That kind of went under the radar. I'm excited about that. I love my favorite British superhero is Union Jack. I love his costume, which is just the Union Jack. But yeah, he's basically Captain America. There's Captain Britain. He's got powers, but Union Jack is more like Captain America, and he was in the Invaders. I love the Union Jack. I used to draw him. I like superheroes with their masks covered their whole face when I was a little kid. Am I hyped for Into the Spider-Verse? Yeah, cautiously hyped. But there's good and bad with that, Halam 899. If that's hugely successful, then you just guaranteed Spider-Man will not return to the MCU. And Sony, who does own part of the actual character, and then we might get a Fantastic Four thing, X-Men thing with Marvel, where they stop producing Spider-Man. I don't like multiple Spider-Mans though. But the movie looks pretty good. I'm not going to be a hater on that. I would love to see you and Captain Robert Abril do a chat together. That'd be great. We will work it out. Union Jack is a cool character. Does anybody here? You guys probably know, but I'll look up Union Jack real quick. Jack, comic character, Invaders. Yeah, he's one of my favorite. One of my favorite. There he is. That's the cover right there, man. This is just, oh God, this takes me right back to my childhood. This is for you Brits, you lovely Brits. Freaking love you guys. That is a great comic book cover. That is a great comic. Back in, look at that, man. Freaking Kirby. Freaking Kirby. And yeah, he's just got a knife and a big old stripe going over his crotch, over his nethers, over his twig and berries. He's got some little things on those ankles that I've never really. Oh, that's for his knife. And he's got little wrist bracelets, and he'll kick your fucking ass, but be very polite about it because he's British. Yeah, fuck yeah, Union Jack. Here's a good picture of him too. Look at that. He's got a little London map behind him. Yep. I'm a bit obsessed with the British, I gotta say. My wife does a lot of work over there. So Vidal Sassoon invites her out to teach, because my wife's kind of a big deal in the hair industry, I guess, and she's really good at coloring. So she goes and teaches a class out there, but we don't spend time together. So she's teaching a class. I put on a backpack and I walk around Britain. I just walk around for 2-3 weeks, and I swear to God, it's my favorite thing to do in the world. Oh, we got to get some super chats here because I suck. Rolocat, €2 or pounds. Hail 11K. Thank you so much. I missed that one. Sorry about that, my friend. You are awesome. Hang on, I gotta close out some of this crap here. And Zachary Shaw, $4.99. Is there no question? Zachary, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys rock. You guys fucking rock, man. Let's get back to the chat. Clone Commander Jeremy, what's up? If you think the British are polite, you're effing insane. They are, compared to us here. Now, yeah, but Clone Commander Jeremy, I live in San Francisco where people are mean. People are straight up mean. You think these hippies are all nice and everything? Pfft, come on, they're the most angry people on the planet. So look for further Doctor Who talk. I'll just say we got a video coming out later tonight. It's going to get delayed a little bit because I have to take a car to the shop. I got really busy, so it's probably going to be out later tonight. And then of course Wednesday or Thursday, our Christmas idea video will be happening. That is happening for sure. The Bizzopolis. Carol Danvers helped me through my teens. With her little sash and her, yeah, I'm not saying you have to roll out, Carol Danvers with the bikini or anything like that, but like you know what I mean. It's just the spirit of the character. OG Spock loves listen for Vermont, and we are blunt as fuck. You have that? Is there a Vermont accent? Yeah. No, I think it's just a big city thing. I don't think it's because I've lived in LA, I've lived in San Diego, I've lived in San Francisco. San Diego people are way more chill. Except when they're on the road, but they're pretty chill down in San Diego. LA, they're aloof. They could give a fuck about you or anything else. If they bring in Captain Britain, they could bring in the multiverse because Britain Corps is a multiverse thing, and we meet 616 Captain. Yes, I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're bringing in the multiverse. Tiki of Doom. I'm from Oakland. I agree. San Francisco people are assholes, right? Yeah, and no, people are polite in Oakland because you'll get your ass kicked over there. What's wrong with life? Nothing's wrong with life. Unless you're Marvin the Paranoid Android, Bizzopolis. Shout out to Fresno, says OG Phantom. What's up, Fresno? Good old Fresno. Right in the dead center of California. Remember Camelot 3000? Yes, Michael Dignam. Yes. Love Camelot 3000. Good shit. OG Spock love. Not really. Just a US accent. There you go. Same here. How triggered would Brie Larson be if they made her costume a bikini? DeForest pretty triggered. Oh, God. Classic question. What powers would you have and why? Oh, that is a good question. I would say it's going to be kind of a boring one. But I would like the power of teleportation because I could travel the world. I know it's boring, and you could be very clever with it too. So teleportation. If I get a secondary power, I mean, indestructible, like healing factor, indestructible for sure. A third is flight. It'd be fun to fly. But like with flying, you have to have indestructible as well because what if something happens? But yeah, teleportation, and not for evil. Okay, for traveling. And we go there. Whoa, my windows just went nuts on me. They did it again. There we go. All right. Fresno. It's pounds. It's pounds, not euros. Okay. Well, listen, Nigel. I was able to spend my euros in Britain last time I was there. So I don't know. I will say pounds. Jesus. You can call ours dollars, bucks, whatever they want. They all spend the same. Come to Wales next time and I'll show you the village from The Prisoner. Oh, Adam Darren. Hell yes. The 1960s TV show in North Wales. I practically live on its doorstep. Also used for Doctor Who. Mandragora. Yes. Oh, that would be great. Well, I'll be there next year. Adam, I will be there next year. I'll be doing a show from there. Who would want to be the Doctor? Might not be a good career move now. It says High Desert 004. Probably not. No. It's funny. Is Karen, maybe being a companion would work out better. Karen Gillan's, had a better career than Matt Smith. Matt Smith doing well, though. I'm glad to see him like he's in The Crown and doing well there. San Francisco calls itself the city. Not surprised it would be uppity. Agreed, Apple Crow. Yes, they are the city by the bay. And as the great Jim Rome used to say, no, you're not. You're a city by a body of water. Nothing special. Gary, by 2030, Disney will be fully robot Star Wars. Yes, Salam 899, it will. Animatronic. Oh man, the recasting of the original trilogy. We called that in our third podcast 5 years ago. We knew they would do it. Um, we knew it would happen. The Disney did not buy Star Wars to reinvent the wheel. They bought Star Wars to put to bedazzle the wheel, to put Disney princesses in the wheel. I'd have deletion powers, so I could delete Series 11 from Doctor Who. Says Jibba Jabba FPV. Hell yeah, exactly, exactly. I want the powers of Rockman for Marvel's the 12, and out of the psychosis he suffered from super strength, invulnerability, and the ability to not need air. That's good. Those are good powers, Nathan. Mr. Twisted 72 reported 2 trolls. Thank you. Our Mary Ashmead's probably all over that. I love saying Frisco to trigger San Franciscans. I'm not from here, so you can say Frisco all you want, but yeah, it's kind of fun. It does. If you say Frisco to Dennis, he'll get triggered. Tiki of Doom, my co-host. Yeah, but I was born in San Diego, so I'm a San Diegon. Clone Commander Jeremy, I'd probably want the power to create copies of myself at will, because what's the point of being a clone commander without clones? Exactly. I think I would say Mrs. Nerdrotic would get bored with that kind of easy. No, it'd be really bad to have. You would just have, with me, you just have multiple assholes who can't find their keys. Which would you rather have, a copy of season 11 of Doctor Who or a copy of Fallout 76? Ooh, Fallout 76. I thought you were going to ask Star Trek Discovery season 1. Thank God you didn't ask me that. I would at least try to sell Fallout 76 at GameSpot for like 50 cents or get credit towards another game. Yeah, let's get 200 likes. That'd be cool. That'd be new. It's great we have so many people here. It is. I got booted from karaoke bar in San Diego since 6 scale combat. Well, why? What's the rest of that story? Was your singing bad, or did you get a little crazy? Tiki of Doom says San Diego's awesome. It is. It is. The only I left it for a girl, the one I'm married to. I would like the power to be a normal human. Unfortunately, being a mutant leaves a lot to be desired when all you get is negative effects. The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey. Yes. Yes. Gary, be honest. You'd love if Mrs. Nerdrotic had Madrox powers. Well, she did. Yeah. Woo, come on. Does Mrs. Nerdrotic like sci-fi? Yes. She's a huge genre, sci-fi, huge fan of that stuff. She's a Trekkie. She's a straight up Trekkie. Swap it for Guitar Hero 3. So yeah, I straight up. Or the Rockstar Beatles. GameSpot is going down. I know. 500 million loss was reported, says Kato Ronan. Yep, and selling comic books didn't help them at all. I want to see a power of stop time. You can always catch up on sleep, shows, studying. Heck, even travel a holiday with everything else frozen in time. Lenny, you're right. Yeah, that's probably better than teleportation. I've never been to San Francisco. Do they still have tram systems? Is there everything uphill and to a stupid degree? Yes, Nathan Norman. Well, we've got the cable cars, and we have street trains everywhere. We're the most European like city in the West Coast for sure. Very small roads, stupid steep hills, and if they decided today like to build a city here, they wouldn't do it. It makes no sense. I mean, there is houses on hills like graded like that. It's nuts. And it shakes here quite a bit. Saying Born to Be Wild 5 times in a row. There we go. Oh, you did? Well, that's not a reason to get kicked out. That's lame. GameStop's business practices will take them down. And Mr. Twisted, yes, bad customer service. They didn't need to be that cheap on buying games back, overcharging their customers. Yeah. And insisting on being in super high rent districts too. That never helps you either. As a UK fan, I'm really trying to like the show. But you're right. Making the Doctor a woman was fine, but now this feels like Sylvester McCoy moment coming soon. When is it going off the air? Says David Poole. I would say after next season. That's my guess. I think Chibnall and Jodie leaving. I think they wanted to finish it out with them. I heard somewhere like Doctor Who has 5 more years. I've seen that written down. The BBC said we're going to do 5 more seasons and that's it. But if the showrunner is going to leave, I don't think they're going to go through the trouble of like going through another showrunner. And yes, something can be your biggest revenue generator, but it also can be the most expensive. And maybe they just like throw in another dancing show and call it a day. Because this is something we've brought up with Disney. Eventually, it's going to get very costly to produce Star Wars movies and Marvel movies. Yes, they bring in billions, but they cost billions. And eventually, you're going to see them go to Marvel and say, we want you to make your movies cheaper, because I know this for a fact, because I heard this from a horse's mouth, that it's cheaper to make Star Wars movies than it is to make Marvel movies right now. And that's probably due to casting contracts and stuff like that. They're going to want these things to be cheaper at some point, because everything at Disney is based on D+. If D+, which is a really bad name for your streaming service, by the way, does not work, and I mean work to Netflix levels, there's going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble at Disney, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that they sell stuff off. I give you the example of sports teams. They bought the Anaheim Angels and the Anaheim Ducks, and they were supposed to own them forever. It was all going to be part of the complex. You know, it's really the proximity to Disneyland was great, and you could have people going to games and then going to Disneyland, and then they sold the Angels and the Ducks because it just, you know, they brought in money, but they're basically luxuries. They don't bring in enough money to warrant putting in as much money. So that's where Doctor Who is Doctor Who, yes, will technically be your biggest revenue generator, but the actual profit is going down. At OG Spock Club, yeah, I did pick a good one. She's Mrs. Nerdrotic is fucking brilliant in every way, guys and gals. And she will be on the show soon. We'll have her on. Holidays is bad for her. She's very busy. She's actually she does a pop-up every once a month down in Palo Alto, and that's where she's at right now, at her little pop-up. Pop-ups are they've been around for a while, but it's a big trend here, at least in Northern California, where you go and finish out. You either do a shop within a shop, so somebody sublets their shop and lets you put up shop, or you finish out somebody's lease who's bailed out, and for a negotiated rate. That's actually what I'm doing in my comic store. I'm currently looking for places right now. So where you can kind of go into a higher rent place, but it's only temporary. It's only for a couple months. Actually, I'm just looking for a place for 2 weeks right now to get me through the holidays, and then I'll see if I want to continue it there. Our grand opening of the shop is going to be the 1st of April, but we want to do a pop-up until then. I remember the last time I was in San Francisco, I was with a church choir on tour. And while we were running around Chinatown, we ran across Chinese porn theater. Oh yeah. Stephanie Little Page. It's not very Christian of you. Just kidding. Chinatown's it's tourist trap, but it's also cool. I would definitely go there. I mean, like, go to Chinatown. It's just cool to walk around. I go. That's one of the one touristy thing I do. As sometimes I'll go down to Chinatown. I go anywhere near the wharf. Hell no. Walking across the Golden Gate Bridge is epic. I highly recommend you do that. It's just epic. And you look at that thing, and it's a marvel of engineering. A credit to mankind. I want to be rich enough to buy Star Wars and Star Trek IP so I can fix it. or rich enough to destroy CBS and Disney, says Nigel Brought Savage. Yeah. 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 I want those things fixed. And no, I don't think anybody in here wants them. Uh, like we don't not want diversity. Okay. We want them good. That's it. But there is a line Michael Burnham from Star Trek says at the end is like, we don't take shortcuts to the path of righteousness. And all I'm screaming in my head is this show is fucking full of shortcuts. Star Wars is full of shortcuts. They copied the first episode. They put no time into it. They wrote the fucking script as they went along. Star Trek Discovery was rewritten multiple times, reshot multiple times, and you got like YA nonsense. Doctor Who is doing the same goddamn thing, and they are completely forgetting what got them here. And you don't need to change everything and give the bird to your old fans at the same time. That's I don't understand that at all. And it's like they always want to go to Wonder Woman. Well, Wonder Woman did well. Forget Ocean's 8 and Marvel Comics and Ghostbusters 2016 and all the other data that's in. This will end. This will end, and it will end with a backlash, which again is not good. And I love that when people are telling us to go back to the Doctor Who article, when people are telling us we're pushing issues forward, these people think, I mean, I hate to generalize, but basically what we get from Hollywood on Twitter is like some two-dimensional thinking. It's so much us and them, and if there's no gray in any of this, especially from people who are supposedly morally gray and super postmodern and nothing matters and there's no such thing as evil or good. And yeah, and that's why we're having a problem with our superhero shows and with our IPs right now. Heroes are problematic. Heroes are problematic, and that's their worldview. They can't say there's no way they can imagine a hero. I'm sure there's some people who associate hero, which is not a male thing, by the way, to masculinity or toxic masculinity, which, the concept of a hero is beyond these people because their worldview is not that way. There's no such thing as a hero. It's somebody who does something by accident, or that hero, that person who did that one good thing did something bad in their past, and that erases, depending what the bad thing is, but that erases everything good they have done. And it's, that's the part of the term SJW with me that I associate with is it's people who are super fucking judgmental, like just fucking Puritan fucking judgmental. And that is bullshit. And especially on Twitter. That's why, guys, I'm not on Twitter that much, and I won't be on Twitter that much because it's such a negative place. And I'd rather be on YouTube where we can talk. We can work things out. We're not limited to 140 characters or whatever it is now. And I can't catch all of it, but we can converse. That's what this entire channel was built on was you guys. Like, you are like the 11,000 subs. You are part of the fucking show if you want to be. And if you're thinking about it, really come into the chat. Like, this is a cool as hell chat. And you don't have to agree with everything I say. As long as you're like cool and don't take over the chat, where you can argue, it's cool. I actually welcome it. So, not sure about Idris Elba as the Doctor. I'd love to see Richard Oyed from the It Crowd. I don't know who that is, Spaceman Dan. I originally wanted Idris like back in 2012. I was like way down. I was like, yes, Idris Elba. We did it. If you go through way down, it's in our Doctor Who playlist. My old co-host and I, John Reed, picked our 5 doctors before they picked Jodie Whittaker. I picked 5 doctors, and we kind of tried to go a little bit out of the box. I didn't like pick all English people, but you might be surprised with some of the people I picked. You might not be. And check out the video. Yeah, it's we picked 10. John picked 5 people. I picked 5 people. I'll give you a hint on one. Cass Anvar from The Expanse. I picked him to play a doctor. Yes, he's Canadian. So Oh, you did? Kronos can't crying. That's good. I got an apology for Twitter about banning me for hate speech because you probably didn't like say anything. Like, I hate that term hate speech. I really do. It could be used for anything. Actually, we had somebody in here arguing that because I was criticizing Star Trek Discovery, that can be construed as hate speech. And actually, I got to agree with them. That could be construed as hate speech, and they could ban me for shit like that. And fuck. I feel bad for you guys in Europe with this whole Article 13 thing. And people have actually had police come to their house over what they said on Twitter. As an American, that is something that would start a revolution, folks. If that shit started happening here, man, you want to see fucking the middle class finally rise. That would do it. That would do it because that would freak out a lot of people here on all sides of the aisle. That is some scary shit. Now, your police showing up at the door is not like our police showing up at the door. It's a big difference. It's like, please come out. Ours are not like that. Cops are awesome. Come on. Cops get a lot of shit around here, and I'm not the person to give it to them. We've had a lot of break-ins here in my neighborhood because it's a big city. And the cops came out like that. They were fucking awesome. The couple wasn't home. Some old couple got like broken in the middle of the day. The cops stayed in front of the house all day till they got home from work, watched their house. I brought them some coffee. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Ad Adabesi. Sorry. Yes. You don't even have to say please. That is my apologies. I will be putting timestamps in my live streams now. That is a promise starting this afternoon. That is going to be a thing. I used to do it. I got out of the habit. I need to do it again. It will be done. Promise. I know I was supposed to do it last week. I've been very busy, but it does take time, but I will do it. Viking bitch says Richard. I can't say his last name. Oyoda. Richard Oyoda. Let's see who that is. For the doctor is a brilliant choice. Let's see. Richard Oyoda. I'm probably going to recognize him as soon as I see him. Richard is a British actor, comedian, writer, director, television presenter. He is best known for his role in socially awkward IT technician Maurice Moss in Channel 4 sitcom The It Crowd. Okay. Yes, I love his hair. He's got Dr. Hair for sure. That's Dr. Hair. That'd be great. That'd be brilliant. I think that'd be a very good choice for a doctor. Back to the chat. Back to the chat. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any of these here. Oh my God, that's really got to stop happening. I'm just going to, we got too many windows open right now. There we go. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, folks. I was just getting all my windows together. Sorry about the silence. Okay. How about Craig Ferguson for the doctor? Too old. Too old. I like Craig Ferguson, but you know what? I want a younger doctor. I want one who can run around. Yeah, I want a little bit of an action doctor. I don't want one that runs funny and trots around and yeah. It's not like David Tennant was like jumping off buildings or any shit like that, but yeah, he was doing some action stuff. He was running around a lot, tons of running. I miss that in Doctor Who. It's like awkward trotting now. And the music sucks. They got rid of fucking Murray Gold for what? For what? Ewan McGregor would be a fucking brilliant doctor. Toby Maguire as the doctor? No and no. I would say Hugh Laurie. I would make an exception for Hugh Laurie. I like Hugh Laurie. I'm a House fan. I worked on that show a little bit. Um, yeah, there's a lot of potential good doctors out there that I don't know if we're gonna get another uh Toby Whitehouse as showrunner. I'm gonna say, um, I'll bring him up here. I'll bring him up. I'm gonna tell you who should be the Doctor Who showrunner right now. Toby Whitehouse will be my second choice. All right, this will be my first choice because I think he wrote some of the best Capaldi episodes. Oh, that's not a good picture. Hang on, I'm getting there. I'm just gonna bring up his IMDb. Jamie Matheson. Jamie Matheson. Jamie Matheson should be. Oh man, I'm putting up a big commercial for Into the Spider-Verse. Okay, so out of Capaldi's run, he did two amazing episodes. All right. And then he did a couple so-so ones towards the end, but he really gets the Doctor to me. Mummy on the Orient Express and Flatline are two amazing Peter Capaldi episodes that I'd watch again and again and again. They felt like Doctor Who episodes. They were brilliant. He also wrote for the great Dirk Gently show, which only lasted 4 episodes, and I fucking loved it. That was more like Dirk Gently than the American one, which I still liked. He also, Being Human. He's got genre experience. I think I think he's the guy. Now, Toby Whitehouse would be my second choice. I just, some of his Doctor Who's haven't been that great, but according to Neil Gaiman, his scripts got screwed with. So, and that's probably why he didn't come back. So I'm going to give him a pass on that one. So yeah, believe me, I would love to have him right now. I would fucking love to have Toby Whitehouse right now. It's all about tearing the heroes down, tearing the heroes down. Once word gets out, Peter Parker is washed up, overweight, burger eating schlub. It'll turn people off in the Spider-Verse. If that's what it, yeah, that's, okay. I've always been okay with Miles Morales if they brought him in the 616 robot ride, if they brought him in as a Robin, like straight up, like that would be an interesting thing for Peter Parker to have somebody to be responsible for, have a sidekick. And of course, you'd have to bring back the Mary Jane relationship. There's a lot you have to do to get me back Spider-Man because I quit Spider-Man. I had a complete run of Spider-Man. I don't because I stopped collecting it. Spider-Man was my favorite superhero. I had a Spider-Man museum next to my store, an actual museum of my collection. Yeah, no more. Yes, I think people will be pissed off about that movie. I always thought Patterson Joseph would make a great Doctor Who. That's another person I don't know. I'll probably know it as soon as I see it. Let me. Oh shit! Damn it, Brian! You got to be careful. I'm trying to copy and paste the name, and I almost blocked you, dude. Sorry. I got to be careful. Let's see, Patterson Joseph. Yeah. The guy from 12 Years a Slave, and he was in Love Actually, and he was also in Serenity. He would be a great Doctor. He would be a brilliant fucking Doctor, but he's kind of a big star now. So I want Chris Chibnall to play the Master, so it would explain why he's ruining the show. Tommy Holly, exactly. Hell yeah. What was my Spidey turning point? Says Wooly Bally. Well, the actual turning point was one more day. I stayed a couple years longer, and Dan Slott's writing drove me insane. And because I had brand loyalty, because of nostalgia, I kept buying it and reading it, and one day I realized I'm not enjoying Spider-Man, and I haven't in 2 years. And of course, at the time, at my shop, it was easy because I essentially got my comics for free. But once I had started paying for them again, I'm like, Michael Fassbender would be a great doctor. Crapola, I got to leave in 20 minutes to go get my Logan from school. Well, you got your priorities. I got a couple hours. So, uh, Peter Dinklage as the doctor, he would actually probably be pretty good. I think Peter Dinklage would be a fucking good doctor. Uh, I will play Spider-Man PS4 and enjoy someday Halam 89. And when the video games, Tim Curry was supposed to be like turn down the doctor, Nathan Norman. He would have been a great doctor. Tim Curry is love. I love Tim Curry. Okay. So sorry. I hope you feel better, Tim Curry. Just in case you're watching, I know he had a stroke and um see if you get Warwick Davis as the master and Peter Dinklage as the doctor. Simon Pegg. Eh, yeah, I don't think he would be bad actually. You know what? A little older Simon Pegg, like now. Simon Pegg young, no. I don't know why it makes a difference. It just does to me. Uh, Went to sleep to Doomcock, got up to Doomcock, Mary Ashby. Well, you woke up to Doomcock Roller Cat. There's a joke in there. I'm just going to leave it alone. Peter Dinklage is from Jersey, so I don't think the BBC would go for it. I think the BBC needs to think out of the box with some Doctor stuff, not with the showrunners. No, keep them English, please. Keep Doctor Who British forever. Forever. Jar Jar Abrams would play an excellent master. He is, after all, evil. He is. He is. Pee Wee Herman as the doctor. Paul Rubens as the doctor. I mean, that sounds crazy, okay? But the doctor is best played by character actors, not by dashing leading men. Character actors. Paul McGann, bring Paul McGann back. Ahmed Badr, yes. Paul McGann. I want Paul McGann back. I think he is a brilliant fucking doctor who deserves time. Tim Curry would be a great as the doctor. He could go to the place untouched by he'd go to a place untouched by capitalism, time and space. Thank you, the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, for £5. I appreciate it. How is JJ evil? Asks Elliot. Well, I mean, okay, evil that what he's done to Star Wars. Well, it depends on what evil is, Elliot. JJ, to me, and this is my opinion here, is kind of a huckster. He's a snake oil salesman. I think he's semi-talented as a director. He's never really completed a work. And what I mean is he's like pretty good idea man, but his finished products end up having bad endings. Like all of his TV shows. I like the beginning of Alias, and it went off the chain. Lost went off the chain. Super 8 was not a good movie. Mission Impossible 3 was okay. It was okay. Force Awakens is a cheap copy. He's never Star Trek 2009 might be his best work. And he was using a bunch of new technology. He's been giving every chance in the book. The guy was practically anointed as the next Spielberg. Problem is, he's not that talented. He's just not. And as more time goes on, the more that is proven. He uses a thing called the mystery box, where you go watch his TED Talk where he explains what it is. And this is simply what it is. We make the journey interesting. We throw in a bunch of things that sound like they're really deep and interesting, and we don't really resolve. We keep it opening. We keep any resolution open because it's about the journey. The mystery box is actually empty. I think it's evil to get Star Wars fans' hopes up. Have the original cast come back. And like a poor marksman, you keep missing the target. You didn't have the original cast act together, and what they tried to do is spread it out so they can trick you into going these other movies. So you get excited about Luke, you get excited about Han, but they didn't have Han, Luke, and Leia share screen time together. And that's never going to happen again. The biggest missed opportunity in the history of fucking cinema. Then you kill Han in a punk way. Then you treat Luke like a punk. And he set that up, by the way. Yes, Rian Johnson made the ultimate decision, but they have come out and said that that was the plan all along. And that's JJ. Now JJ is going to come back. He's going to throw everything and again point out where JJ has finished something, given us a great resolution to the end of the story. Lost ending, Alias ending, horrible. It's fucking oh yeah, and then Westworld, fucking Westworld. His name's on the Westworld, and I think it infected it. Westworld had a great first season, terrible second season. I mean, just the second season just went off the rails. Yeah, I just don't see the guy as that talented. I see him as somebody who's very good politically, can schmooze really well, but the end result is, I mean, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I know a lot of people like that movie. That movie is so bad in so many ways. They remade another movie badly within the trilogy. They couldn't have been more lazy if they fucking tried. And Lawrence Kasdan just completely demolished whatever respect I had for him by going in and just completely half-assing it. And you got to realize that Lawrence Kasdan is not really that much. He wrote for genre, but he forgot about that shit. It was said in Doomcock's stream last night, the worst person to Harrison Ford, the person who's done the most damage to Han Solo is Harrison Ford by not respecting that character. And you know what? Kind of screw you, Harrison Ford. That's one of the reasons you're popular. And and to come off and say, I don't understand the fandom. You know why you got all those fucking roles, right, dude? I hope you know. And now that his star is diminished, because you know, we all get old, and yeah, and he still doesn't respect it. So I liked it better when Harrison Ford used to not give interviews because he used to have a smart agent, and now I know why. Fuck you, Harrison Ford. Seriously, dude. And he's gone flying with Melissa's uncle too. Apparently, he's a big curmudgeon. He's just a big curmudgeon, crabby. Star Wars has no villain worth anything and won't have an ending at all. It's just like all of these other shows. No antagonist, no ending means there's no one's film. Yeah. Unless they make Rey the villain, which, I mean, that would even bring me back. If this all build up that Rey is bad, then now we're talking. Doomcock is the doctor, right? Why can't a man play Wonder Woman? Hey, well, that's the logic. Oh, but it's in the canon. Oh, okay, that's easy. One part of Wonder Woman's powers is she can change her sex whenever she wants. Boom, it's canon. The mystery box is just another stolen idea. Schrodinger's box in the is the cat in the box dead or not dead? Exactly. That's all it was. Harrison Ford to play Wonder Woman. There you go, Nick. Ray gone wild. Yes. You know, Wonder Man. Yes, there is a Wonder Man. You're right, Grim Jim 666. Harrison Fjord to play in Vikings. Harrison Fjord. Slarty Bartfast makes fjords. He's very good at it. Does Doctor Who touch himself? Well, Nick, if you could, you know, why does a dog, you know, I don't want to go there, but you know what I mean? Kaylee Bright. I am still waiting for the one superhero who could turn back and if he said who could turn black if he says black power, says LeBron. That wouldn't be controversial at all. Star Wars expanded universe is all that I care about, and episode 4 through 6. There you go, Brett Newman. Yeah, that's all you could do is like we'll love the stuff that's still good. I'm not saying don't love the old stuff, but man, they've done damage to it. They've done damage to the brand. Expanded universe is good, and they've, and I liked some of the stuff from the books. Star Wars Dark Empire, I've said it before here. This is a great comic. That's my sequel to the original trilogy, is Star Wars Dark Empire from Dark Horse Comics. Rey is the reincarnation of Smee, mega metachlorians. Uh, Cobra Kai is awesome. Love it. Can't wait for season 2. When are we getting season 2? When did it come out? I can't remember. It was early 2018. So we must be getting close to getting season 2. Oh, I should bring that up. Yeah. Before we close out, Nightflyers. So I saw Nightflyers, the first 2 episodes. Again, my mistake. It had said everywhere. And if you Google it right now, if you Google Nightflyers season premiere, it was supposed to be last night. Well, apparently they dropped it on digital platforms on 11/29, and they dropped 2 episodes. I'm like, shit, it's been out too long. When I review first episode, it has to be a day it comes out. If I miss it, you don't get a lot of clicks. So fortunately, they're doing the whole season in 1 week. So I'm not going to do every episode. I'm just going to do a season 1 next Sunday. The first 2 episodes I will give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. The storytelling is pretty good. Too ambiguous though. There's too many open-ended things. Like they don't give you much information. They go a full 15 minutes without you knowing somebody's name. You got to do that. You can't have, a character come on and you don't know his name. Christ, I got to get my notes out for this. There we go. All right, so we got Agatha, who's in the big. Okay, so do I want to do a spoiler review? No, I'll keep it mostly spoiler free. All right. So the show ends. The show starts with its ending. I'll tell you that right now. I won't tell you what the ending is, but it starts with this ending. So when you see what's going on, that you're like, wait a minute, how are we going to have a show? Well, it's all going to lead up to that, but that might not be the ending. So they've changed it from the book quite a bit. All right. So if you've read the novella, it's got Captain, what's his name? Captain Eris in it. But it does not have all of the characters, and they've introduced some interesting aspects that I do like. So it is basically your colony ship where something gone wrong, kind of like Origin. We start out at the ending, and then the episode you have a Dr. Agatha Matheson. She is a psychiatrist. She is on the ship that is the Nightflyer. We also follow another doctor. Gosh dang, I'm forgetting his name now. Was it Carl? I think it was Carl. Because they didn't say his name forever. So let me get the IMDb up before I go on with this. Nightflyers, IMDb. So they're on the colony ship, the Nightflyers, and okay, so this is a really cool part of it. There's a thing called the Vulcan. So and this is from the book. The Vulcan are another race that they know is out there. This takes place in the year 2093, by the way. So we found alien life, and this is a really interesting take on it, which I like from the book. But we've been trying to contact them, but they're just not calling back. So we know they're there. We can track their ships, but they've never bothered to come to us, and they've never bothered to return our calls. So Earth is dying. There is like a plague, a pathogen going on right now. There's quarantines. People are dying left and right, and they need to save their planet. So they get on the Nightflyer, which is this giant ship, and it's made for long periods of travel. People are genetically engineered for space now, and they get this crew. They hire this ship to go intercept the Vulcan ship so we could try to contact them. And this is just basically to make first contact and beg for help. So, but they don't, they figure that we just can't communicate with them, even though we've tried every single way to communicate them. They just don't call back. There is a scientist who does come out and say, maybe they just don't want to talk to us. I don't know. So this crew, Agatha and this crew get together and they decide to intercept the ship, but they bring something on board that this is a difference from the book. They bring what's called an L1. An L1 is a Oh, that's noise in my backyard. The L1 is a psychic. Now, I don't know if it's a genetically engineered psychic or or a or evolution. We're not told yet. We're not told so many things. We don't know. We don't know what the plague is from. We don't know people's names until like halfway through the ship. The ship is run through a neural net. So there's a woman who is she's pretty much kind of, I wouldn't say she's a cyborg, but she can connect herself into the ship and she flies the ship with a brain, and it's part of a neural network. And there's dangers with that too. So they bring this L1 in named Thale, and he's really dangerous. Apparently these L1s are dangerous. They are, L1s are in the book. Did I say it's not in the book? I'm sorry. It's been forever. L1. I can't remember now. No, I don't. Hang on. L1s are like these psychics, and they basically are raised in, they have to raise them in a mountain. They have to be separated from society because they're so fucking dangerous, and they don't mean to be dangerous. They are, their psychic feedback and kill people or harm people. And because they're ostracized from society, they're, well, at least this one in particular is like a child. So they need psychiatrists with them. And Agatha is with Thale, and he's kind of an asshole. He's kind of an asshole. But she can control him. So at first, you think it's him doing it. If you get within his vicinity, he can figure you all out. He can project shit in your brain, but they cannot project shit into machinery. So they take off towards the Vulcans, and they automatically start having problems. All hell breaks loose, and weird shit starts happening. One guy who was the main scientist, or I'm forgetting his name, he starts seeing his dead daughter, and everybody thinks it's Thale. The crew starts turning on the L1. So Agatha's trying to protect the L1, and the crew wants to kill him. The captain's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Now the captain's weird. The captain locks himself in the quarters, and he's just a projection. All right. Yes, and that's from the book. It's a very elusive captain, but we do see him as a projection. And other times he's just this like a light. You can see that he's spying on people, and he's often spying on people in inappropriate moments. So he decides he wants the L1 at least knocked out while they go towards the Vulcan vessel. The Vulcan vessel has made a course change, so it's going to be 5 more months. So it's like a haunted spaceship, we think, because at first we think everything is Thale, but eventually you realize not everything that's going on is Thale, and people are starting to see shit. They're starting to hear voices. George R. R. Martin put it best. It's kind of like, he says Psycho in space. I say a little bit of Psycho in space, a little bit of haunting of Hill House in space. And it's pretty good so far. The acting is good. But you really, the first 2 episodes, you got to stick with it. So don't expect you're going to know what's going on after the first episode, because you're just flat out not. There is a lot of changes from the book. What I remember, again, I read this a million years ago, and there is some that I remember the captain, and I remember the ending. I remember the ending. I hope they don't do the ending from the book, because I don't like the ending of the book. I don't. So I think that, well, for one, if they want this to be, I don't know if this is just a one-off series. I don't know if you guys have heard that or not. If it's going to be, there's going to be a season 2 of Nightflyers, because that's the first thing I've heard is like, how are you going to make this a series? But I said that about Happy, and I was wrong as hell. And I love being wrong. And it looks expensive. The special effects are very good. It looks really slick. So I keep in mind that this is the fucking network that canceled The Expanse. So fuck you. But I would say it is decent. It's decent. And we will give a full season review at later this week. So we'll get back to the chat. Coyote Clone, I didn't like the characters in Nightflyers, a book or TV. The TV show, they were not very likable at first. That's why I'm giving this show time. Agatha is, Thale is an asshole. Is it Carl? Is that the Carl? Carl is his name. Thank you, Natasha. Carl. He looked like a good dad at first, and then he turned out to be an asshole. And the captain is an asshole. Yeah, everybody's kind of an asshole. The smarmy Xenobile or Xeno, whatchamacallit? What the hell is his name? I got his name right here. Rowan, the smartass Rowan. I liked Rowan, but things don't turn out well. I would the overall tone of Nightflyers, the show, JD Brisbos, is a little creepy. The science fiction, the technology is really cool. It's a little creepy, but it feels a little stale. You know what? It needs some levity. It's too dark. Alter Carbon. I see Alter Carbon here. You know, Alter Carbon was funny. They threw in jokes. Alter Carbon was funny. When are we getting Alter Carbon season 2? They're filming it right now. Woo woo time. That is Wednesday, OG Spock Love. We do woo woo Wednesday. Xmas episode. Sylvester McCoy, doctor, meets Whittaker doctor and make a baby to become father of the first doctor. Maybe that's the timeless child. I will keep that idea, Brian Smart. Okay. My voice is starting to give. I'm getting hungry. It's been, it hasn't been that long, but I got to get going. I got a busy day, folks. So I hate this is the most people we've had watching the Nooner since the Stan Lee thing, but that was an anomaly. This is great. So, but we have some people bowing out. I think I'm starting to bow out too. But I will give a better Nightflyers review when we do the season 1. Rollocat. I find Nightflyers ambiguous. That's a good way to describe it. I agree with that. But I've only seen 2 episodes, so it's hard to say. Star Wars will end with lovely SJW and PC ending lovely. Yes, Dan, it will. And we don't want that. We want it to end like a Star Wars movie. And when I heard people say Star Wars has always been political, I want to scream. I want to scream. And now my perspective of Star Wars is the original trilogy. I'm old. So I was in the theaters in 1977. I saw it. Star Wars is not fucking political. It was political in the prequels, but yeah. Do you know Philip Rivers is expecting a kid number 9? Yeah. He's trying to make his own team, Hidden Wiki. And he did not want him to move. He did not want the Chargers to move. See, man, you lose 10 people just like that when you start. Yeah, but they won last night. My son is still a fan. He was super stoked. My oldest son. Live long and prosper, everybody. Thank you for showing up. You guys are brilliant. You're the best chat around. Here, I probably should. I'd be remiss if I don't do our Patreon video. And then I'll read some more chat, and then I'll be it. Don't want to do it with that. I want to open it with VLC. There we go. Self-produced, folks. Self-produced. Here we go. Present to everybody. And as you see our patrons going along at the end, you'll see what you get back from Patreon. Patreon.com/nerdrotic, where you get stuff. You could join also for as little as $1 and you get free content. I'm doing Expanse commentaries. These are visual commentaries, by the way. And we're doing watch parties, which will be visual watch parties. Yes, I have a way where we can all watch Counterpart and then talk about it on our Discord. It'll be lots of fun. Nerdrotic.com is where our schedule is. Our live schedule for live recaps is on the right-hand side, nerdrotic.com. And that is also our backup. If anything ever happens to the channel, we will continue on at nerdrotic.com. We are on iTunes. We are on Player FM. We are lots of places. We're on Twitter. Mine is at Nerdrotics. We have a Facebook group and page, the Nerdrotic Podcast. Check it out. Our wonderful wrenches, Kato Roan, Mary Ashmead, Penn Farm Girl, Brian Smart, Sculpted Leather Art by Viking Bitch. If I missed anybody, I am sorry. And who was here? Stun the Wombat, Six Sail Combat, Austin Woods, Kato Roan, JD Brisbois, E Jar, Brent Newman, Encore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, Ken Lynch, Krish Persia, Nick, Grim Jim 666, Stun the Wombat, Halam 899, Captain Robert Abrils, Six Sail Combat, Rolo Cat, Alex Mason, Jeff Smith, CD Horde, Ken Lynch, maybe I said that already. Jenny Ryjik. There should be more episodes that have the TARDIS soul in the body that lives a long time, such as Missy. Yes. Well, they're not even in the TARDIS anymore. That's part of the problem. Tommelfinger, Brent Newman. Oh man, I'm totally starting to lose my voice. And I got to cut a video after this. Dark Angel Ire. Chatal 100. Mike Cedar. And that's the end of the Patreon video. Jibba Jabba, FPV, OG Spock Love. And the Filthy Farmer. Oh, your wife and you 9 years ago today. Is that your meeting anniversary? Well, happy meeting anniversary. And you guys have been together 9 years. That's a long time. You made it past the 7-year part. That's tough. Nathan Norman. High Desert 004. Nicole Millette. God dang it. Nick. And oh my God, a lot of other people it only lets me go up so far. By the way, the Doctor 14 Blu-ray reviews sends £5. I am a hardcore Whovian and love Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. Okay, there you go. But do you like the stories? That's the question. Do you like the stories? That's what we got to ask here. And of course, I got to make sure I didn't miss any. I probably did. Okay. But yes, if you're a hardcore fan, that is cool to be a fan. I don't think they've given her a fair chance. I think they've given her a bunch of shitty writing. So I don't know if she's a good Doctor or not. I honestly don't like her very much. I think she's too manic. I don't think it's her fault. I mean, the performance is adequate. Thank you, Felipe Diaz. I really appreciate it. And Nick and Halam 899 and Austin Woods. Dr. and Captain Jack should have a child. That would be interesting. Oh man. Maybe they don't have Captain Jack back because he's too problematic. Little Me Too. You know, he's always hitting on people. Yeah, there you go. So thank you, everybody. And like I say, whether you agree or disagree with me, whether you like the show or hate the show, I want you all really to have a good day, not patronizing you there. Yeah. So check out our next show will be Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. for the next Nooner. Our next Doctor Who video will be out sometime tonight, but it might be late. It might be morning for you guys in the UK. And then we have a Christmas video coming out Wednesday or Thursday with the Christmas ideas, which I can't wait to do. So Halam 899 is Captain Jack's son. I'm Captain Jack's son. We're all Captain Jack's son. He's lived forever. And we'll basically say he's birthed or not birthed. He's been part of giving birth to every person in the universe. And we love the Nooners. Yes. So please like, share, and subscribe and spread the word to your friends. And I hope you like the show. And may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Cheers. Oh, wait, I can't go. Oh my God, I can't go. Because I got to thank the super chats. Oh man. So let's do that real quick. Chris Persia for £2. Wes Hatton 99 for £2. Brett Newman for £5. West Hatton 99 for £2. Silhouetted Animator for $2. Steel Johnson for $2. Sculpted Leather Art by Viking Bitch for $5. The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey for £2. Tamarocks for $20. Jesus Christ. Justin Doyle for £2. Look at all these UK people. I love it. Silhouetted Animator, $5. Brent Newman for £5. Justin Doyle for £2. The Rookie Critic for $5. Bourbon Sherbert for $5. Rolocat for £2. The Rookie Critic for $5. Zachary Shaw for $4.99. The Bazopoulos for $2. Michael Dignam for £2. The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey for £5. The Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews, £5. Thank you again for all the super chats. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao, everybody.